I'm gonna go through the reinitialization steps to show you guys how to do it. This is a 2016 BMW 535i M Sport. I only have one key fob, and every day the car tells me that the key fob isn't in the car. Now, I've been able to start the car, drive the car. I've not had any issues with the car. Today is the first time that the car stopped responding to the button presses of the key fob. So either the batteries are going dead very fast, and I've purchased batteries from multiple sources just to try and eliminate that as the issue. But the steps for this process are, without touching the brake, you're gonna press and hold the start stop button, as well as the central unlock button here on the dash. And you're gonna hold those together. Then after about 5 seconds, you're gonna take your key fob and you're gonna hold it up to the side of the steering column while still maintaining. Yep, something's updating service data. Transferring service data to remote control. Please wait. It took a lot longer than I anticipated. And that's it. Now, your key should work. Now, I know mine is going to actually start the car because it has been. The issue I ran into this morning is I got out of the car, walked away, forgot to lock it, turned around to lock it, and it wasn't responding. So we're gonna check that as well. Now, if you couldn't tell, my car did not respond to the button presses. This is a new development for me, and even after the key initialization, it didn't work. Now, I have comfort access, and one of the issues I was having with the comfort access was it wasn't responding. And after a little bit of research, it was determined that depending on what puddle lights you're using, which are the lights under your doors that light up the ground as you know, your puddle lights may be causing that issue. I had some aftermarket ones in this car with the BMW logo. I actually switched those out this morning back to the OEM ones, and here are the aftermarket ones that had the logo. I put them back in their bag. But the new development is this morning that it's not responding to the button presses, but that was before I switched these out. So when I get home, I am going to put another battery in this remote and see if that addresses the lack of response. If not, then that means I have a bigger issue. Actually, I do have some batteries in here. These are some cheap batteries that I got off of Amazon. But let's try another one. Maybe, you know, I have some Energizer and some Duracells. I have quite a few different, even some Panasonic ones at the house. I keep these in here as an emergency because they were so cheap, and I think that's what's in here now. Let's see if one of these makes a difference or not. But I can also show you how to change the battery in one of these while we're on the subject, I guess. So my key fob is in one of these little key condoms my father likes, and he gives me stuff like this. You know, I use it. Why not? Because these key fobs, I am notorious for having these in my pocket with other things like my cell phone and coming outside and seeing the sunroof and all the windows open. But in order to get the backer off on these keys, you can see here, there's a slot right there where your valet key fits. And what that does is pops this up, it lifts this just a little bit, And you can usually just pull it up, but I'm gonna play it safe and use my trusty pick tool that I always have in the car to make sure I don't damage the key. Now I've done lost the backing. Yep, so this is one of these cheap ass batteries in here right now. I'm gonna go ahead and take it out. Really easy. You just pry out. There's a spot, you'll see it, there's a spot there for you to be able to pry it out. So I'm gonna put the battery that was just in there, put a new battery in, again, one side first, and then just push it in. Okay, and at this point I would put the cover back on, but let me see if I can't dig that up first. And now we put the cover back on. You have to put the bottom portion in first, and then just give it a nice little press, and that's back in. All right, so let's see what happens. I just got out the car. In the car, everything is working good. So we know that the key was causing some of the issues I was experiencing this morning, the battery. But the initialization should make sure that everything is working as it's supposed to, because the comfort access was not responding. Now we know why the locks weren't locking and unlocking. So that's everything you should try before going to the dealer with key issues, or calling a locksmith when you have a key issue. Now, if you have to replace the key, I know there are cheaper options out there, but I always recommend, when people ask, go to the dealer. You do not want people cloning your keys. Go to the dealer. All right, guys, Schwab out.